Listening to BearatNight Podcast with your host, Jurassic Parker.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, and non-binary, this is the BearatNight Podcast. It's been a while, been adulting and being sick, but we know what? Hey, we're here. We are here now. We'll talk about that on another pod. So stick around for that next week. But we are here. We are here, and we are ready to talk about the King/Queen of the Ring recap. That's what we talk about with the WWE. I got here none other the Chico himself to help with the review.
As always, appreciate the invite. Thank you.
Yes, switching up the group a little bit here and there to do a little, different views here and there. But nevertheless, it's gonna be a fun show. This recap is the show is based in Saudi Arabia again. I will say, as time has progressed, the Saudi shows have been getting better. They have gotten better. Before, to me, they looked like, okay, it's just another cash cow thing, and that's what it looked like. They just put stuff together just to make people happy. But now that we actually got real PLEs coming from there, and matter of fact, revamping some PLEs like the King and Queen of the Ring, which was like dead in the water for so long.
Well, Backlash was another one in France.
Yeah,
actually was extremely popular, and we saw stuff that we never seen in a long time before.
Can I just say the visual of Backlash was amazing looking? The visual, the camera work on it just felt different. It looked different. It just
audience itself was transcendent. We saw stuff that we've never seen in the States. For one, which definitely I consider was one of the highlight matches of the night. AJ Styles versus the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
Yeah,
the intro was mind blowing because literally it's like people are being so loud and the energy's so high that the cameramen are rocking, they're shaking the whole place.
The Fireflies,
we get a Fireflies focus. It was crazy.
And like the Fireflies, one of the best intros ever happened on the PLE out of nowhere. Who would have thought? Would it be Jey Uso, showing up with the Fireflies and just dominating the whole room just with the Fireflies? Everything was vibrating. It was dope.
It was incredible.
And you flash forward to now with this view. They did some camera angles that was good, that I liked. Definitely the visual, it just looked like, I think every time they go to Saudi Arabia, it just looked like a WrestleMania. How huge the stage is.
Well, that's the thing. I think one of the things they're trying to do is make every PLE feel different in some way, whether it's by the demographic, whether it's by the marketing or promotion of the location. Because one of the things that I'm noticing is Backlash has a certain set of colors that they use for their marketing, their advertisement, and the logo work. So now King and Queen of the Ring have this sort of Night of Champions kind of feel to it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And now same thing with Crown Jewel, the patented work, kind of getting to that point where we're recognizing already which pay-per-views are coming or which pay-per-views are Crown Jewel. It has that patent gold, emerald green and purple. So that's one of the things that they're doing.
Saudi, what is it? Twice a year, right? They go to Saudi.
They do Saudi at least twice a year, I believe.
Yeah. So right now, Crown
Jeddah,
Jewel,
and then Jeddah was one, and now I think forget the time.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but I think Crown Jewel is in the fall. That's a fall show.
Yeah, Crown Jewel,
like November type of thing.
Right around, like I said, the day before my birthday. So
yeah,
But
and I will say, the being the show after Backlash,
mm-hmm.
when they came here to Hartford, Connecticut.
I missed that show. I'm so mad I missed it.
I was there. I was there for a hot second because this is another story for the next pod. I bring it up, but long story short, I messed up on getting tickets off instead of Ticketmaster. I bought my tickets off another website, and I thought I was getting good tickets for a good price until I found out I was in nosebleeds. Needless to say, I was not happy, and I ended up leaving like halfway, like from Raw. Like, matter of fact, there was like, you see me, my boy, leaving during the Zoe Stark match right before it started. It looked like we were angry at Zoe Stark. I don't want to be here for this. It looked like we're angry leaving from there. Like, we don't want to see a Zoe Stark match. No, I got tired from being a little cheap seats. The higher you go, the less room they have
to see.
Yeah, so it sucked. So, but
not like
I would say
that SmackDown. That was a fun day.
Yeah, but this Raw, I mean, Hartford tried his best to try to just recapture the magic of the Backlash, but it just couldn't compare. It just could not compare to that crowd that they had over there in France. It was no comparison.
First of all, there's no way you're gonna get the feel of 70,000 fans in the XL Center. That's the first thing.
It's true, and it sucked because it's like, man, it made Connecticut look bad. Honestly,
I wouldn't say bad, but it's just
you look at the crowd, compare them from night. It literally was night and day from what they had that weekend on a Saturday, and then they come on a Monday and then see us. And we're like, yay! That's all we had.
You just selling us mad short, man. Like, I mean,
I felt bad, but then again, I felt even worse because I couldn't be there because I had left. I couldn't take the seats where we was at, and I was just like, I'll just watch the rest on TV.
I mean, it's not like we have a Madison Square Garden where we could stuff 50,000 people in and you get the same feel.
Yeah, but now I know I'm never using that ticket website after. I'm just gonna pay the full price for everything, and I'm gonna be on the floor. I'm just gonna shell out the extra money to be on the floor. I would just stop trying to get
do it right.
Trying to finagle a way to get, not to pay so much. But I digress. We do have this show, Saudi Arabia, King/Queen of the Ring. I don't know what this was, but was this a pre-show match or what? We had the Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill for the tag team women's champion.
That was a kickoff. That was a kickoff match.
So it was a kickoff.
It was a kickoff match before the pay-per-view actually started.
Versus Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. What was the point of doing that? What was the point in putting them in the Queen of the Ring match tournament just to have them have a match already at the end?
Well, so the storyline in the King and Queen tournament was that Jade was eliminated from the tournament. I think in the in the prequels before the semifinal. And unfortunately, Bianca Belair didn't make it past the semifinal because of an injury.
Right.
So it really got to that point where now we have the tag team champions out of the picture, but we still really.
I have a mascot. Go ahead.
But they really was like, okay, well, the tag champions aren't going to be involved in the tournament. Well, let's have them, defend the titles.
Right.
And I guess Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae have been really making a name to themselves where, you know, Nick Aldis felt like they deserved a championship match. So,
Interesting.
Because that's just like how it seems. Because we saw a lot of people that, you know, were featured that got in the tournament. We saw a lot of new talent involved in the tournament. We saw a lot of former ring participants. The only thing that we didn't see was the Selena Vega didn't make it too far.
Well, she got hurt. A lot of people have. Man, we got it's a nice little long list.
Same thing
wrestlers hurt right now. Yeah, a lot of people are hurt right now, which just sucks. But this is also the perfect opportunity for the wrestlers that don't get to be seen right now as much to get a chance. They get a leg up. These are one of the times where if you get an opportunity like this, you better take advantage of it.
Right.
Before that superstar, gets all healed up and come back and take their spot.
Especially right now and I love how they're using it now, but I used it first, the Triple H era. So,
well, yes. I mean, that's what we are. We in there now, baby. We in there.
I coined it. Then I said they're gonna start using it, and I said it first before anybody else. So
I mean, the WWE will say, "No, we did that first."
No,
there was cease and desist. There was cease and desist.
Well, if they want to rewind your podcast and actually take a look and actually see people that know what they're talking about, talk.
Honestly, if they paid me, I would say no, y'all was right. He was wrong. He stole that from y'all.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Money talks right now. I'm sorry. We are in a depression. But no. So we had the Jade Cargill match, right?
Right.
It was pretty good. I do like Indy Hartwell, and I'm glad that Candice LeRae is getting some shine because Candice LeRae is a really good wrestler, and she's right up there with a Becky Lynch if you give her the shot.
She's a great technical wrestler from myself in the match. Overall, I give this match a solid B+. The superstars featured in the ring. We see a new tag team in Bianca and Jade, but they have a chemistry that actually works very well for them.
And they look good together. They
look really good together.
They are fine as hell. They are fine. Even with the bodysuit. Fine. Like, you put abs on a bodysuit, and I believe those abs because they got them in real life. It's just like, is that just a cutout from the real abs? Because that's what it looked like. You got to just draw that together. Like, that's what it felt like. They look good. Candice LeRae, Indy Hartwell, they have a YouTube channel that I really just started watching a little bit with I think it's on Gargano's. Matter of fact, it's his YouTube. They talk about, they go back and forth with their flights and stuff. It gives you some really insightful stuff about the business, low key. Like, they're showing their adventures back and forth, on the road and stuff. But you really get a actual glimpse of what it's really like on the road as a wrestler on his channel. And you get both of them on there because they travel together with Ciampa. So you get them four together. So it's like, I'm really excited to see what they put up for the Saudi Arabia show. Because they were, and see how that flight was. But they showed their schedule. This is crazy. It was like, I don't even know. When they were explaining the schedule, like on the vlog, I got tired. I was like, sheesh. But it's
one of the
really insightful.
Is really that the wear and tear on the superstars that they face every day is because there's no off season in the WWE. There's no
unless you get hurt
at all, unless you're on the injured reserve list. And that's one of the things that really that's always been a problem with the WWE, because it's just like, or even just professional wrestling in general, because again, there's no off season.
Well, that's why in the Triple H era, people are getting to go home now. They get more time to be home. I was mad because Jay did not get the qualified to get to the next level of the King of the Ring, because I was like, man, I can just see it now. He King of the Ring. He'll win King of the Ring, and then he'll have the whole crowd in Saudi Arabia, doing his thing, doing his dance, whatever. That would have been great. But that's the Vince McMahon era. This Triple H era. He got to go home, be with his family because his son graduated from high school. His nephew, which is Jimmy's son, graduated. So it was a family affair this weekend.
Right. One of the things that actually that I really am.
My nephew graduated this Wednesday. That's another thing. Hallelujah.
Congratulations to him. But one of the things that I, and we've talked about this before. I was a fan of the WWE, and I was a fan of pro wrestling in general, and then I fell off for a period in 2013. So it's very refreshing to come back and, Cody Rhodes said it very well in that interview that they presented during the kickoff, that a lot of us that grew up in the 90s, we were kind of on that cusp of the final end of the Attitude Era. A lot of people, wrestling hasn't been the same since the Attitude Era, but now we're in an era where it's like, this is kind of interesting. Let's see where this goes.
Right.
It's actually pretty cool to be a wrestling fan again. And now you're seeing generations of younger and old, kind of featuring in and watching the programming. So it's pretty interesting. Especially now that it's starting to get to that point where it's like getting a little slightly edgier. And also,
we growing up a little bit, getting to grow up.
The content in regards to storylines is getting very interesting. It's getting to that point where that repetition of certain stories isn't getting recycled and reused again.
Right.
One of the things that's very interesting was the aspect of, maybe we're jumping a little bit too far ahead, but I feel like there's a lot of foreshadowing that we saw in this PLE for the coming months and leading all the way up to SummerSlam. So It's going to be very interesting to see how things unfold. And going off of that, how did you feel overall about how the whole PLE was? Like, what would you give an overall grade to the entire pay-per-view as a whole?
Well, I don't want to go there yet. We still got to talk about the other matches.
Right.
I think I'll save it for after.
Okay.
But I did think so far it was pretty good. Instead of like, what is it, out of the big 2 or 3, like SummerSlam, WrestleMania. Yeah, out of the big 3, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble. This is pretty good for what they have. Some of the matches, I don't know. I just want to see some more different. Well, they still got time. Honestly, you still got time. It's to show more different looks and different insights. But it's just like it's a lot of people that's on the roster that I really want to see shine more. And it's some of these PLEs like a Ricochet. I keep saying, but we're still waiting.
Right now with Ricochet, because it's interesting, because right now he was crowned the first.
But they don't mean shit. That don't mean the speed thing. It looks stupid. He can't even wear it during a regular show. They don't even acknowledge it. You know what I'm saying? They treat that shit like it was the old NXT belt back in the day. That's what they look at. It looks stupid. Like 24/7 championship got more shine than this belt. You know what I'm saying? So it's put more respect on that man's name. But then again, hey, there's gonna come a time where he's gonna have to leave and show this is what y'all missing, because look at freaking my boy Mustafa Ali. Mustafa Ali. He's killing it right now. So hey, there you go.
We've known, right now it's a really good time to be a professional wrestler because Now
It
you
is.
have a lot more avenues and a lot more venues to really go.
It's a lot more now. It's not about the venues, like which one's gonna have enough exposure, who's paying the most right now. That's what it is for some of these people to get more shine. But
Well, sometimes I don't think it's so much more the money. I just think, like, for example, like if I was just like for example, with a lot of a lot of wrestlers are taking their trade and their craft and their skill set and going to other, like I said, venues. And what I mean by venues is not like companies in general, like other parts of the world. Like a lot of
yeah,
people are getting into Japan style wrestling, which, a lot of people are actually getting their shine. A lot of people are going to, AEW, of course, which is,
yeah. I
the
mean,
closest competitor right now.
it's all
Um,
good. I mean, it's all
the,
good to find a Danny, like about how to go about getting the exposure now. 'Cause it's like you say, it's way more avenues now.
right.
It's multiple companies now. It's just like who has the most shine, because you still have like TNA out there who's, it's still not the same to me back in the day. Like I wish it was, but they're trying their best, I would
They're
say.
trying to get it together again.
Yeah, even though they've been fired a couple people that could have made it better, but the people that own it, I just don't care for how they do the direction. I feel like they don't give a damn about wrestling really like that. They just owning an IP pretty much. But I would like to see more. I just like to see more people care more about the company more to get it to the next level. Like TNA could be back to that point where it was at one time. Right now, AEW is kind of like overshadowed it right now. It's to the point, but at the same time, I don't see as many people having accidents on TNA as they do on AEW.
Right.
There's a lot more people having accidents on AEW than they do on TNA. So I will give TNA all the credit when it comes to that. These are way better, I would say, careful performers and stuff. Even though a lot of some of these wrestlers on TNA I do not connect with. There's some people I do not connect with. Then there's wrestlers on AEW I can connect with, but they do not get advertised as much. You don't see them. They don't, it's the visuals not there. But but back to connections. We have the World Heavyweight Championship, Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan won. Somehow, with the help of Dirty Dom. I don't know. It's just one of those things where, like, everybody like, ooh, mommy gonna be mad.
Well, that was the thing. Like, first of all, I want to say this now. If Michael Cole ever watches this podcast, he is having the time of his life right now.
Oh my God.
Yes. Dude, shout out to Michael Cole. I remember him as the voice of WWE. Like, dude's been doing it for so long that
he has the handcuffs off of him. He don't have nobody in his ear telling him what to say.
Michael Cole, you're doing your thing. You're fucking awesome.
He's making fun of what's his name? McDonough's head. He said type head. He said type head on TV.
Like,
who's
bro,
you been hanging with?
To a point where, like, it's not even announcing. It's just literally a Monday night roast every time.
He called McDonough.
It's just too funny.
He called JD McDonough, the human Funko Pop. Like, I had to replay that. He called him a human Funko Pop. I laughed my ass off.
Him and Pat McAfee are having the time of their lives on Monday, and, like, I'm just gonna say this now. Him and Corey Graves are extremely entertaining to watch. Like, it's literally like a modern day King and JR. And it's
what? But I love the fact that they're making them not be like one's the heel, one's the face. It's just a mutual like respect for both of them,
right,
with each other. But they just like,
right,
oh, you like this person, I like this person too. Like
right,
they can have the same the same people and
right.
also disagree too. I love that. You know, it's not like an old like JBL with JR and JBL telling JR like, you're an idiot. You don't know what this is.
We'll have those moments, especially like on Friday nights if you know, Bad News Barrett. Then again, I love Barrett. Wade Barrett is a great
Yeah.
commentator. You know, I following Wade since, you know, his
I got some bad news for you.
right. Bad News Barrett, you know, known Wade Barrett for a while since he came out.
Is it weird that I feel old to like? It's weird that like I feel old because I feel like he's old but not really old. Like he's still young, but
we watched him grow up in WWE.
But it was like, remember there was a time where it was like he was part of that young initiative that they were pushing.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
When the Nexus showed up,
right? When he came onto the scene, we watched him grow up.
Yeah, but it's like he aged so fast. Like,
well, you got to think back. That was back in 2007.
Was it 2000? No, that's
no 2009,
2011, 2012.
Actually, I think, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like he aged like it was like see him there. He was probably at least like 25.
He was making appearances, I think, starting in 2009.
But I'm saying that when the Nexus showed up, he's probably like 25 by that time.
Right.
You know.
So once 2011 rolls out and he comes out with the Nexus, we've seen him from the Nexus to the Core to, you know,
but it was just
like we've seen him grow. And
he could have been that guy, bro. He could have been. He was caught in the trap. He was caught in that mix of being a good heel, and could have been that guy. But he was in the mix of you have Randy Orton in his prime. You had Edge. You had Chris Jericho. You had you had fucking superhero John Cena, who was not gonna let anybody beat his ass.
I feel like he made the right decision and stepping back from the in-ring competition, and I feel like this is a better fit for him.
Yeah, he had no choice because he was going to win. Next to that,
even so much so, I feel like he made the better choice to step back from in-ring competition because I feel like commentary is a way better fit for him. And just even watching him, he takes a lot of pride in what he's doing right now. He enjoys what he's doing right now. So I feel like, you know, he could have been one of those great heels. He was one of those great heels when he was in ring competition. But I feel like commentary is a better fit for him.
So what do you think about Becky Lynch losing the belt? Like, it was a pretty good match. And let me just state, I do really love the fact that, you know, the girls have to be covered up, right? In Saudi, you know, which I pretty think, like, you know, from head to toe, is pretty uncomfortable at times. But it's a lot better. I love that they got to be individualize their outfits versus how they first started when it was like with Natalya and it was Natalya versus I forgot her name. She got fired. She had the right punch. What's her name? She used to wear she used to come around with the big hats and stuff, trying to have that old 50s.
Oh, Lacey Evans.
Lacey Evans, yeah. They was the first woman to have a match in Saudi, and all they had was like a bodysuit, and they just had like I think a Raw and a SmackDown t-shirts, you know, on top of it. So to come from that to actually having to be able to like switch up your gear, as long as it's still following the rules of how they do things over there, but they still have to be individualized. Because some of these girls' outfits was looking dope. Like I said, the J Cargos and Bianca's, and I really liked where's that girl? The new girl. She had the match with Nia Jax. Valkyria. I loved her look. I like maybe this might be a look that you might want to do a couple of times. The feathers and stuff, it had a dope look to it. Look, I liked it.
Well, if she keeps up the aspect of the Valkyrie stick, that could be a thing for her.
Yeah.
First of all, I
And
would say,
I mean, Liv Morgan had. I feel like she did the same outfit before. The red, like
she, I think she knows red's a good color for her. So that
she was talking about. I remember she was talking about the other thing. I think the red outfit she had last time was like that latex type of stuff. So she was sweating all over the place. I see she kind of like redid it, and this looked like a lot more comfortable on her. But the match was pretty good. I was surprised that they gave it to Liv Morgan, but at the same time, freaking Becky was supposed to be on a break.
So
a long time ago.
So I think overall that for the aspect of the story, in-ring competition, overall, I give this match B-, just because, for one, it came up a little short.
You think so?
I feel like it came up a little bit short. Like, I feel like it could have been a little bit longer. Because there was a sequence where it went back and forth a lot. It was going very well, and then like Dom just came up out of nowhere. I'm like,
the man has one arm, but yet he is killing it still.
Well, that's the thing. He now
so much heat on him.
That's the thing. He right now is really on a huge role as a heel, to the point where like it just is sickening how much he can generate in negative energy.
And the thing, honestly, the funny thing is, he might go down as like probably in the top 10 list one day of heels. And it's just, he don't really gotta do much. It's just they hit his face.
Well, that's the thing. I think the biggest thing that helped him get to the point where he's the heel that he is now, if it hadn't been for the fact that he literally screwed over his old man and Edge, who are literally like the two people that are now Hall of Famers, who are like the biggest baby faces in WWE right now, like, and then continue to disrespect not only his father, but his whole family. It's just like, bro, like, you're really pushing the line here.
But and it works.
It works for him. I'm not saying it doesn't, but it's like he continues to put on like he takes it a step further to take that initiative and take it even further.
Right.
But the thing that I will say is, I think now it's going to get to that point where he's going to align himself with Liv Morgan, whether he or like unintentionally continue to help her. Because now this is the thing, and this is what I think. Michael Cole is having the time of his life, because the first thing he said, he's like, "What are you doing, you dork?" And he's like, "Oh," and then when literally Liv got the 1, 2, 3, the first thing he said is, "Mommy's gonna be pissed."
Dude,
so everyone's like already pushing. Like, even
I feel like
they're like, "Mommy's not gonna be happy about this."
I feel like if they're gonna run it to where it's gonna be like Liv Morgan has like a what's the word? Something on him, to where he has no choice but to do what she say.
I think it's just gonna get to a point where it might be one of those scenarios where, like I said, he's gonna keep trying to get involved and screw over Liv Morgan, and then
keep ruining
it, and then just keep helping her get over, and then eventually, when Rhea Ripley comes back from injury, she's like, "Bro, like, what are you doing? You've been screwing everyone over to help her. Like, is she your new mommy now, or what's the deal? Because you can just tell me right now." And it's gonna be like one of those back and forth between them two for the world title and Dom's soul, because it's just entertaining to see. Like, that was very entertaining. And me personally, like, I feel like Liv Morgan she's always kind of been in someone else's shadow.
Right.
She has improved in-ring, her in-ring, moveset and technicality has improved since coming onto the scene with the Riot Squad. Since then, she's become a lot better.
Yeah, she's coming to her own. I will
Right.
say,
So I
still
think
not the
she
biggest fan.
definitely deserves now to be put over.
Yeah.
And it's going to be interesting to see how things unfold leading to the Royal Rumble.
All right, so we have the triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship. The big Bronson Reed versus Chad Gable, aka Shorty G, versus the man himself, that guy. What's his name? Sami Zayn. I really was hoping Sami Zayn lose the belt, honestly.
Why?
But he won. So long story short, he won. I really want to see Bronson get that belt, man. I'm a big fan of Bronson Reed, man. Bronson got it though. Bronson got that look. He like a big bad, like to have the belt next. Oh my god! Like, and I can see him on like not necessarily on a tear like Gunther, but it's like it's just gonna be hard to beat. Even if you try to beat him, like you come close, you're gonna be having a broken body somehow. Like
Bronson Reed is extremely talented.
He can move. The man can move.
I was just about to say he reminds me a bit of. He reminds me a lot of Keith Lee when he burst onto the scene in NXT. Guy can move, very athletic. Keith Lee's a shit too.
I love Keith. Limitless, the glorious
one. Let him go. It was just like what?
Biggest mistake the WWE did.
One of the biggest mistakes they ever made. It's like you let
biggest mistake that the AEW is doing right now. Whatever is going on,
wasting his talent.
Just waste. Just a waste. The man is too good to be. It's funny enough that I found out we're the same age, which is crazy. I thought he was older than me, but he has premature gray hair, type of thing going. So,
hello.
I mean, but the man is good. The man can go. But once again, he was a product of Vince McMahon. Oh, he's a black man that can actually talk proper and he's intelligent, and he's not. Oh, I can't make him to be like a hood guy or whatever stereotypical. I don't like it. I'm gonna make him bear cat, whatever crap that was. You know what? I can go on a whole tangent about the horrifying story of what they did to my boy. You know, he deserved better. But Bronson Reed is definitely a man who can do a lot. He can talk. He can
Bronson
move.
Reed has all the tools. He has the in-ring capability. He has the demeanor. He could be a great heel, but I don't think he's.
And he was a good babyface when he was in the NXT too. He was
right.
a good
Now
face.
you can tell they're trying to package him as a heel because
I mean he's been that right now. You know.
Well, that's what the thing is though. Right now it's kind of like literally they have him in a three-way argument.
Yeah.
You have the two villains against the one good guy. So,
I will say he's the guy for hire. If they build him a certain way, like even if he doesn't have
I agree.
Like, because he's all about like I'll do this for a certain fee.
Well,
that's
why
all APA.
I don't think he's ready for a singles championship yet. But like you said,
why not?
Well, like you were saying, I feel like more they're gonna literally put him as a mercenary and put him in a stable.
Nah, he's not. No.
I don't know, because if they really wanted to sell him as a singles champion, then by Royal Rumble they'll put him over. But
I'm tired of all this. I love a good stable, but I'm tired of some of these stables that get put together and they don't make sense.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of stables are like, think about it. Some stables are beginning to disband.
Yeah, they should. Speaking of banding this stables, Chad Gable, who is seriously, it's like he said, F this whole thing.
Alpha Academy is basically over.
I'm just waiting for him to get with the Creed brothers and do their thing, all three of them together.
Yeah, Alpha Academy is basically done and over with, and then we're probably gonna see on Monday. He's gonna go make some excuses why he didn't win, and say it was all Otis's fault.
No, of course.
He's gonna turn on Otis, and then he's gonna say Alpha Academy's done altogether.
So,
So it's just, I think the end result of this match.
right.
I feel like this match was really good. This match, I give.
So, what do you think about? I mean, yes, the match was pretty good. I like the match. Like I said, I was hoping for somebody. You know what? Even Chad. You know, because honestly, I still think Chad Gable is the person that should have been in that WrestleMania match with Gunther and won. His storyline was way better. That story was so much better on paper than the Sami Zayn situation. You know, they just threw Sami Zayn in there out of nowhere, and then at like 2-3 weeks prior. So it should have been Chad the whole time.
I feel like they.
Yeah.
I feel like they genuinely set that up for this story specifically. Because you have the, confident friend always putting other people first before himself. Then he sees that his friends are getting over, is not sharing the same wealth and glory as his friends. Then he starts to get a little upset. He starts feeling a little jealous. His friend gives him an opportunity to probably, become the guy. Can't get the job done. Sees his friend reveling in his achievement. Flips his shit. Decides to attack him. Goes from it's just literally good storytelling. And I feel as though, again, we might see another continuation of this 3-way tug of war for the IC title continue into Royal Rumble.
Yeah, okay. I'm just sorry, I'm just looking for Sami Zayn to lose the belt. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Sami, but he hasn't had that fire since since he left the bloodline. That initial role he was on, that time break when he had that match with Roman, that little time, and then that time a little bit after he had that match with Roman, it was like he could have got any belt. I didn't care what belt he got. But right now, it's just so lackluster. Do you need it right now? Do you really need it? I don't think he needed the belt. Could have given somebody else.
I feel, it's funny you say that because that's how I feel about, the next match.
Which was the next match was Nia Jax.
Yeah.
And Valkyrie. I don't mind.
So real quick, let me just let me finish what you were saying about Sami.
Yeah.
I feel like he needed the push because he was getting being forgotten now that he was transferred from SmackDown to Raw. And now because this is the thing. You got to remember the Bloodline was a whole literal and there are chapters and chapters of all these different scenarios and situations.
Right.
That once Sami shot his shot at the world title, that was it. What else can he do? He can keep going after Roman, but it's enough's enough. Here is Cody, who's trying to finish his story from last year. One that you actually played a part in trying to help him finish.
Mm-hmm.
That's where he's like, let me step back and let someone else finish their story. So I feel like Sami now moving on went to WrestleMania to face Gunther. I feel like it got to that point where Gunther was getting even if Chad made it, someone was going to drop the belt they were going to drop the belt to someone else. But I feel like for the sake of storytelling, they dropped it to Sami. And now we have another rivalry, another storyline that is causing the dissolving of a faction that really isn't working to possibly opening other opportunities and other stories. That's how I feel it's being unfolded as.
Okay. We shall see. We shall see. I'm just saying, I haven't been a real Sami Zayn fan since he left the bloodline. After that,
I like where Sammy is going because one,
you know what? You know what? You know what I think is. You know what? I realized something. I just realized. You know what? I have a problem with Sammy. He has a great moveset, right? His moveset is dope.
Yep.
He just looked like an everyday guy.
Well, I mean, if we think
Like,
there was one other guy that looked like an everyday guy who wasn't the face of the company who got put out on top and everyone wanted him.
so I see a Punk.
No, Daniel Bryan, dude.
Oh, Daniel Bryan lifts. What are you talking about, Bryan?
No, but think about it. Back to WrestleMania 30, when
the man does his thing.
So does Sammy.
Yeah, but he lifts. But Sammy don't. Sammy. You know what? Let me not body shame. Let me not. I just look at it like I would just want Sammy to look the part more and just be believable to me. I just don't believe it. I guess that's what it is. I don't know when it comes to Sammy. I just don't see it. Like when I see, it's like I see Kevin Owens. Like, yep, there you go. Yep, that's the guy. He's gonna kick somebody's ass. You know. But I don't know. Let me.
I mean, that's the thing, though. We can't. That sounds something like from the Vince McMahon days, where like,
yeah, let me get. That's what I'm saying. Let me get away from being in the Vince.
You know, and the same thing said. A lot of people said the same thing about Punk that you're saying now.
I mean, Punk still should do something, but the boy. I mean, the man. You would think the action figures have more stuff going on. I'm just saying, if you're a wrestler and you're getting paid good, I mean, you should be like, whatever your character is, type of thing. You should be on the top of your game. I'm just saying, just top of your shit.
This is the thing, though. Like, not everyone's gonna look like a chiseled god.
Yeah, I get it. Everybody looks.
That's the thing. Like, people started taking shots at Sheamus, saying for the same reason.
But
like,
Sheamus, to me, Sheamus still looked good. So like he still like he got a little beefy, but he still can look. He can kick somebody's ass though.
There are a few people that say otherwise, and they're like,
"Well, I'm saying, but Sheamus still look like he'll kick your ass if you get out of line." It wasn't too much of a change.
I mean, you can't really, because you got to remember, like, all these guys aren't gonna look the same, especially when.
I think what got with Sheamus is that he has his YouTube channel, which is all about working out. I think that's what screwed up people, because I think if he didn't have the YouTube channel about working out all the time, it wouldn't have hit so hard. But the fact that he does, and then he come out like after a few months, like, hold up, what the fuck? Hold up, this is. But don't you? How you?
Yeah, he went from banger after banger to burger after burger.
Hey, but I love Sheamus. That's my homie. But let's get to the match finally. Let's Queen of the Ring final. Laura Valkyria versus Nia Jax. Nia won, obviously, because she's the shit. I was hoping for that anyway. I just thought the combination of the two, it's just, you know what, anytime Nia is going to get in the ring with any female wrestler that's smaller than her, it's always going to look
throwaway match,
messed up. It's just always going to look like, it's unbeatable, like it's not real.
Throwaway match.
Somehow, it's just, she's a small woman versus this big woman.
See, this is the thing with that. We've seen.
I think she did good. I thought the match was all right. Valkyria, she's an upstart. She's good.
Lyra, okay, so this is why I'm very not happy.
You wanted her to win?
Lyra definitely should have been put over.
But she just got it 2 weeks ago.
Well, this is the thing, though. The reason why I say that is because with Nia Jax, it's like I don't see it. The reason why I don't see it is because She reminds me a lot of, how do I put this?
Who?
She reminds me a lot of, well, that match reminded me a lot of when the Great Khali debuted and he went one with Rey Mysterio.
Do not, don't put more respect to this woman's name.
Hear me out. Because it's like, if you're going up against a smaller competitor, there's so many things that you can do. Like, it's a lightweight versus a heavyweight. There's so many things you can do. But it just seemed very one-sided, lazy, where it's just like, okay, I'm a big-ass bitch. I don't really need to do much. I'm going to sit on her. I'm like,
that was the only thing in that match that
even the end result, I'm like, bro, like, what are you like? That's how we're gonna end the tournament.
That was the only thing. I thought that the finish was fine. It was just the fact that the girl slipped, and then like Naya's supposed to hold, like, if you're gonna do a bonsai chop, like Yokozuna's bonsai chop, that's fine, but you're supposed to hold the ropes when you do it. When you do the move, that makes sure, one, you don't put all your weight on the person.
Well, that's the thing, and that's where, again, now I see.
Right, Nia's gonna fuck up somebody's uterus.
There have been superstars that have complained about Nia Jax being that she's unsafe to work with. Now I can see why, because she botches the simplest moves. Like,
but it was just, I look at it just that, but it could be worse because, also she just. Her other competitors are smaller than her. That bitch
doesn't matter, because this is the thing. We've seen heavyweights that have faced cruiserweights, and we've seen more entertaining matches. Like,
but those are guys.
No, it doesn't even. It shouldn't even matter if it's a guy or a girl. It shouldn't even matter, because I was just about to say, we've seen Batista, who's borderline heavyweight, super heavyweight, because he's a big guy.
Yeah,
and he's gone up one-on-one with Rey Mysterio, and they have put on banger. You know,
of course, that's like
seen Undertaker versus Ray or Shawn Michaels. They've put on bangers, and the weight classes are different. That's not an excuse. It's just you need to put in the effort to actually do the choreography. If you're actually going to go out there and compete, then you need to put in the book work as well as the in-ring work. And I don't see that with Nia Jax. I felt like Lyra Valkyria should have been put over, and that could have started one hell of a rivalry.
I mean,
where they
I think she got a good enough run by getting to that point, but the notion of, you know, with Nia being able to have the Mad Queen thing going on is going to actually work better to her benefits. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can see her going off with her head and all that stuff. You know, why not?
Yeah, you know, she's going to adopt the Queen of Hearts vibe.
No, just saying, off with her head. Like, one, I think still to this whole thing, Shayna Baszler should have been the main one anyway, to go all the way. But they don't look at Shayna Baszler as a serious competitor as they should. Because the woman is a serious threat.
Well, that's
they let her do her.
Shayna hasn't broke. She has the potential to be a top card contender.
Like, cause she's a way better wrestler she's a way better everything than Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey just had a name. That was the only thing.
I'm not disagreeing with that, but right now she's just very mid-card.
Yeah, but they made her mid-card by putting her, like, she could have been, when she had that match with Ronda, they could have put her more up there for the belt and everything. What they do, they put her in a tag team with a girl that's just like her, almost just like her, with Zoe Stark. Like, they didn't have to do that. You know, they just, matter of fact, both of them came off of doing a tag team.
Well, that's the thing.
And then they go into doing this again. Like, doing the tag team all over.
They might, if they play their cards right, there might be a way where if they go about it the right way, both those supers, because Zoe Stark is pretty impressive as well. I'm not trying to knock shade on Shayna Baszler, but for some reason, it's just she's never been able to get past the mid-card. So if they actually build up their story to a degree where the fans get behind, it'll raise her up to the higher card.
Well, now you say, I just thought about it. Nia is now the queen now. Then that puts the Queen of Hearts, Shayna Baszler, who was already talking about after she lost her qualifying match. She's like, something got to change, got to whatever, you know. This could be a nice segue to them having a good feud. the Queen of the Ring versus the Queen of Hearts. Like, this actually could be something because it's more believable to see Shayna Baszler versus a Nia Jax, and she's winning easily, and they got the history of being in the tag team together and all that stuff. You have a lot of history there. You could do a good storyline if they let it happen.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just don't see, like, I'm sorry, but it just, like, it's kind of like how a lot of people were saying now. I feel like she's basically like a modern day Goldberg. I'm sorry, but it's just like where a lot of people are like, oh, Goldberg was, he was back in the 80s and 90s, but now it's just like he botches the simplest moves.
Goldberg was never really good. Was never a good wrestler in the first place. He had a good gimmick. He had the good crowd participation. He had overall the look. He had the whole thing, what they built around him, and then he only was in a match for like a minute or whatever, just to do the spear and do the jackhammer. That was it. But if you put him in a match longer than that, it was showed all his faults. Yeah. So he was never a good wrestler. Still ain't a good wrestler. The gimmick, the look of him is what it sold. That was the thing. But there's a match with him and William Regal, and it showed Regal.
William Regal was technically sound.
Yeah, but he had a match for like 5 minutes with William Regal, and Regal just destroyed him just by doing the littlest shit. And it was like, you look at Goldberg, who couldn't keep up, who was just like waiting for his turn, like, okay, can I do my thing now? I'm tired. Can I do my thing now? Like, that's what it looked like. And it's don't get me wrong. I put respect on Goldberg, whatever. Like, but honest to God, like, truth be told, like, that's what it is. He had a good gimmick. He had a good promo. You know what I'm saying? Like, his whole thing, his whole rollout was perfect for his time at that time. But, you can't do that now. They tried to. That's why you get a Ryback. And then,
Ryback, don't even.
I'm saying, but you try to, but, you can't do it again. That's why they, and he showed that because you get a Ryback. It's like, oh, see what happens? You try to duplicate the same shit. It ain't going to work. It only works once in a lifetime.
Well, and that's the thing, and it's funny that you mentioned Ryback because he's been on a.
Man, I do not care about. I used to like Ryback for a moment, but he just
podcast is wild.
He just keeps putting his foot in his mouth so much. It is like, dude, can you stop, please? So next match, so it won't take too much longer. King of the Ring final.
Give that match a C.
Randy Orton versus Gunther. Gunther was put over, which was a good idea. Randy Orton doesn't need to be the King of the Ring. He has everything. He doesn't need it. I mean, would it be cool to have him? Yeah, it's fine. But Gunther needs that rub. He needs that. He's the future. And I love the match. I love this match. It was such an old school match.
I didn't like the ending. I didn't.
No,
and the reason why I didn't like the ending was because of how cheap it was.
With the shoulders, right?
Yeah, not even just the shoulders. From Randy hit an RKO, and then really he set him up with a crucifix pin that wasn't even locked in right. And like again, his shoulders were up, and it's like, bro, like really, like that's how we're gonna end it.
I mean, like, hey, whatever the referee said, it goes. We go by what the referee said. That's what Triple H said. That's what Triple H. I'm going by what Triple H said.
Because that's the thing. Because then we have obviously Randy's not going to argue with it, or maybe I don't know. But it's just
Did you see Randy's face when Gunther gave him those chops? Oh my God! Oh,
the look on his face.
Hold up! Hold on! You going? Hold on! You gonna get? I'm a grown man. You gonna be slapping me like
that first chop, you saw his soul just.
Yeah.
jump
He's
out
like,
of the chest and just fly up to the great beyond, man.
yo, for real, like that chop,
deadly.
he managed to get 3 of them bitches off. I'm like, the first one is like, don't
like,
do
you
it.
saw how much his chest started to swell and like literally, like Gunther tore the skin because you could see like he had skin.
Yo,
like, and had
Gunther will slap you enough to give you the Kofi
at some point in the match. I'm like, damn.
Yo, Gunther will give you a slap in the chest and give you that Kofi Kingston chest after a while. That's what you're gonna get if you keep getting slapped by that man. Like that's what you're gonna
and everything. Jeez.
Yo, every time, like that's what happened. Gunther happened to me. That's why my chest is like this. But I think it was a good match. It gave a really old school feel to the ring. I mean, to the whole thing. I liked it. I thought they did really good with the match. I like I said, like Randy Orton, you can't go wrong with a good Randy Orton. You know, the man is to this day still natural, like to be on his game, and after like a year and a half being off and still be able to kill it. And you see, he's so much happier now too. Like he enjoys the whole experience even more so now.
One of the things I don't like right now is like they're trying to sell it like he's broken, like he's old, and like from what we're seeing in the ring, that's not the case. Like, well,
I think there's the more stuff keep selling the injury that he had before, and they keep milking it. But which is like, why not? Because even though he's healed, he can still get pains and stuff from certain parts. Even though I think he's 100%, he's good, but they keep selling that same spot. His back, which is an important spot. You know what I'm saying? Like, speaking of injury, side note, I just saw stupid ass Adam Copeland just shattered his foot. Doing stuff he should not be doing in a cage match. It's like against Black. What's his name? Aleister Black. Well, Malachi Black in AEW. Instead of doing like a frog splash while Aleister is like on the table, like, or just like, just put your feet on him, like, leg drop type of thing. The man, I think he was trying to do like a coup de grace on him.
Really?
And missed him entirely. And just landed on his feet.
Like a full-blown botch? Or was it like...
Yes, full-blown botch from the top of the cage. Top of the cage, 20 feet up in the air. 20 feet up in the air. You jump down to do a coup de grace for no fucking reason. That's not your moveset. It just shattered your whole shit. Like, you should not, like, you just came from an injury for like 9 years. Now you're gonna just put yourself in a lower company. You didn't have to be there. You chose to go there, but yet you're gonna go and do a fucking move that you don't do. You gotta see it. It's fucking crazy. You can tell it hurts. Like, he just landed bad, and it's just like, of course you're gonna land on your feet from a 20 feet jump. You literally jumped and thought you were gonna make it.
Yeah. If you're from that high, you have to at least tuck and roll.
He could have tucked anything. He could have rolled anything, because from where he landed to where the table was, it was just so close together, but not that much where he should be able to hit the move onto the person. But yeah, it was horrible. But that was just a little side quest to stupidity. Adam, I don't know about this Adam Copeland. Edge, I love Edge. Edge is smart. Adam Copeland, I don't know what's going on with Adam. Speaking of high risk moves, we have American Nightmare.
Real quick though.
Yeah.
I mean, Adam Copeland is literally the guy that we know from the 90s doing risky stuff.
At this age.
As well, yeah, obviously. I mean, we just recently saw Sting retire, and he was still doing pretty cool.
Yeah, but Sting was never going to jump off the top of the cage like that.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
I
Unless
just
there's a few people down below, then he'll try it. You know, but
I feel like now he's doing a lot more creative things that he wants to try that he should.
Yeah, he gonna end up in a wheelchair. Keep fucking around, or he's gonna ruin his whole damn career. But
Well,
back
back
to
the main event.
the American Nightmare versus the Maverick.
This
Logan Paul
show.
I will say, and I'll say it again. I hate Logan Paul.
Agreed.
For the simple fact that he's too damn good. He is too all this. You know what? All the stuff that Dolph Ziggler used to say, like, I'm too damn good. All those little puns, all those little things he used to quips he would say. All that needs to be put to Logan Paul, because Logan Paul should not be this good at this in his stage of life, and not really being like put his all that years worth of being a wrestler. Like, the man just jumped into the thing, and he's such a natural.
I think he's just a douchebaggy tool, but I will give him credit on
that's his
character. I give him credit on his in-ring ability, but he's just a douchebaggy tool.
But that's fine. He like, that's what gets him over. But but still, I give credit where it's due. Like, the man is good. In the drone shot that he did from him jumping to do the elbow, that was his idea, to have a drone, because he's like, hey, I'm about to do this spot. I want to have the drone shot. I
was wondering where that came from. I was like,
that was his idea.
Going around now, or
that was his idea. That shit reminded me of a video game. That shit reminded me of the old SmackDown versus Raw joints.
Well, that's the thing. Like, now they're getting like 8K shots of
it's beautiful
people in the ring, which is dope. But it's like, whoa, this is new.
Dude, I love the visual now with
literally going around in the ring. Like,
dude, what they're doing now from the entrances. Like, you had Sami Zayn. No, you had what is it? You had that. I still love the shot. It was Jey Uso winning his match, and then he was like in the crowd, and he goes out the crowd, goes into the rest of the Coliseum to go outside to where Sami Zayn was, and pretty much kind of like, what you looking at type of thing. And you ready? And had kind of passed the baton to Sammy, and then Sammy's now coming out to go in the crowd to his music and stuff. I'm like, who is breaking the fourth wall of this camera work right now, and like doing these one steady shots is like, they taking chances. I love it.
They're
trying new things.
Right now, WWE is in a precipice where they're going a little bit above and beyond. They're, to a sense, peeling back the curtain.
Yeah.
Kind of adding a little bit more behind the scenes to the everyday stuff.
I'm so mad that I sold my share a long time ago. So mad.
It's really impressive how they're going the extra mile.
Yeah.
And, like you said, taking down the fourth wall.
Yeah.
Because it's just really getting a lot more interesting. It's really making it more interactive, and it's really making things a lot more.
Like I said, that like the drone shot was like out of the blue. Like, in the way they cut to it, came out of nowhere. Like, oh, hold up, what's going on here?
Right. Like, how did they do that? I thought it was cameraman's like
hanging over, like suspended. Yeah. No, it was a drone shot. Like,
I didn't even know they had drones going around the ring until like at the end of the match. I caught a shot of
they've done it.
Floating.
They've done it in a few PLEs already at certain angles, like to get that crowd, the crowd looks and everything, and like from like the crowd to the entrance and stuff. Like, they've done certain shots, but you just don't pay attention to it because they mix it in. Like, they go back and forth through all the cameras and stuff, but it's there. And like I said, the camera work is off. It's just on a whole nother level. It's off the charts. But the match with them was really good. The back and forth, I feel like I haven't seen Logan Paul have a bad partner in the ring yet. he's been able to mix with everybody.
He's not had a bad match.
No, I'm saying not even a bad match, but because some wrestlers can have good chemistry in the ring and they can pull off some good shit.
Right.
But he seemed to have chemistry with everybody.
That's what I'm saying. Not had a bad match because of the fact that from what the overall consensus is, he's picking up a lot of things very
he's
quickly.
Learning. Every match he learns and gets.
One of the things that was brought up was Rey Mysterio did an interview and he was saying how he unintentionally botched a move that would have broke his neck in the middle of a match with Logan.
Oh yeah. That was he saved him.
Right. If he hadn't been in that position.
But then again, actually before that happened, Logan messed up on the spot too, but he was able, like that match that happened, I think it was at the Saudi show from the last time. Crown Jewel. And he messed up because he was supposed to be at the spot early. But at the same time, somehow the short time having the ring awareness and to be so quick on his feet, like literally lightning speed fast, to be like realize where he's at, where he's fucking up at, and where he should be at. And then to see like, oh my God, I need to be over there because he's literally doing the move where I should be at right now. And he got there and saved that man's life, one, but also was able to catch him and complete the whole thing. It's like the man, and he was far away from the area too, but he was able to catch
basically
him.
Did a knee slide underneath Ray and then caught him on the shoulder.
It's like the man, like his amount of time and his ring awareness, I give him so much credit. Like it's just sickening how good he is and how much more that he's gonna be, how much more he's gonna become in time. Like I literally can see, unfortunately, I can see him being a champion. One of the belts, like at least the Raw belt. You know what I'm saying? Like I can see him getting that belt.
I don't see him getting a world championship anytime.
I do. It won't be a long time. Don't get me wrong. It won't be a long time. It'll probably be like for like a month or two.
I don't see him holding a world championship anytime soon. The only reason is because from the storyline that he's trying to do is he's trying to make himself seem like the almighty United States champion.
Yeah, but it's gonna transition. Like I honestly could see him being Grand Slam already. Alright, he has his belt.
Only time will tell. I don't see him going that far.
And also I'm still waiting for him to be the America's Most Hated with Dominic Mysterio. Like that's gonna happen. Get them oh my God, get them with the belts. That team. Oh
no, we'll see.
The amount of hate that they would have.
The fact that Dom is on Raw and he's on Smack, I don't see that happening anytime soon. I don't see.
Well, I feel like Logan Paul's the type, he can go wherever he wants. Like where he has a swing. Like, you know what? I want to go over here. Like,
no, I don't think they like. Well, that's the thing. That was the point of the draft. You can't just,
I'm just saying. I feel like he showed what they did with the whole lawyer thing. I have my lawyer write this up that
that's the draft. Unless he literally
belt, if I win this match, I take your belt and I have both belts. If you lose, you just keep your belt.
That was really stupid to me.
But I mean, I feel like this is the type of.
This is the thing. That to me was really dumb because actually it might end up opening the door for another unification, or not a unification.
No, we don't need that.
But another winner take all match at SummerSlam.
But we don't need a unification or more people.
I didn't mean a unification match. I meant a winner take all match.
Yeah, but I'm saying I don't want to see anybody have more than one belt now.
Well, that's the thing. It would be interesting to see Cody win the U.S. title and the WWE Undisputed title. But knowing how Cody is, he'll probably win it and then just drop and vacate it the next night. because then it opens the opportunity
Well,
for the United States
so,
tournament.
you know what? Supposedly, that you know they're talking either it's going to happen or not, but they want to bring back the European Championship since they're going to all these new markets now.
I heard
France
about
and stuff, which honestly will be a great idea to have the European Championship because it will make so much sense since you're going to France, since you're going to Saudi, since you're going to like wherever to do these shows. It makes a lot more sense to have another belt. One, give people another chance to have a belt. Two, the European Championship was not a bad belt when they had people going for it.
No, the European. So this is the thing. There were a lot of championships.
Like one of my favorites is D'Lo Brown.
Like there were a lot of championships in the WWE that were very good that shouldn't have been dropped. Like one of the things that I enjoyed a lot was the original, not that 24/7 bullshit. The original Hardcore Championship.
Oh yeah.
Because it was gritty, it was entertaining because it let you see a hardcore match anytime, anywhere, any place.
What I'm mad about, they should have put it in the game. I don't know why, and because they had the belt, the 24 championship there, and it was that championship scramble for the hardcore in the old SmackDown. The old SmackDown game, they had a championship scramble. You get like 20-30 minutes. Like between 6 wrestlers, if you're one of them.
Pinfall, whoever.
Yeah. Oh my God. If you had a good amount of y'all playing that game, it's gonna be a fun time. I'm telling you right now. Like y'all, 20-30 minutes of like, oh, I got the belt now. You got the, like, it's, oh man. If they would have did that same thing, but for for that 24/7, because that's what they were doing with it pretty much. In real life, that would have been a fun time.
I just didn't like the championship.
Shit, you do that with any belt now. Shit, just have fun with it.
It just looked like a big old penny.
Yeah, I mean, besides the tag team championship belt. What I would say the PLE was good. The thing I was hoping for that didn't happen. I thought we were going to get the Uncle Howdy situation in this PLE. I thought it was going to happen either at the end of this match or.
What was with that? Actually, now that you mention it, what was with that code that appeared in the middle of the IC Championship match?
You know what? I don't know because I just found out just now when you said it.
Yeah, the weird QR code that just appeared in the middle of that match.
For what I saw, for what I know of, I believe that's what they're talking about the other day. It's basically you get to know who's going to be in this group. So it's a letter from Uncle Howdy to what's his name? This dude from NXT who had his little faction with the Rock's daughter. And then you have Dexter Lumis, Eric Rowan, and
I was wondering what happened to Lumis. Lumis was entertaining as hell.
Yeah, and then also you have what's her name? She was a superhero now. Then she started looking at the
Nikki ASH.
Yeah, Nikki Cross. She's part of it, so we shall see. I thought they were going to show up at this event, but they didn't. And I guess that was just that little thing there. But maybe they're going to show up on Raw. Who knows? But I want to see what happens with this group. And I want to see if Uncle Howdy gets a new mask, because I was not a fan of the mask that they had him wear before. It just didn't do too much. It just I didn't like it. Hopefully they revamp it to make it look so it looks more better, a whole lot better.
So now heading back to the match, I thought overall it was a good match. It was the best match of the night in my opinion.
Yeah,
it was really entertaining in all aspects, and even just the fact that, again, Michael Cole and Corey Graves have the time of their lives right now, because that little segment between him and Logan, which I feel is going to unfold even more come Monday or Friday,
right,
it's going to be very interesting, because it's like now there has to be some type of repercussion at the fact that he went back on his word. Logan Paul went back on his word and said,
Oh yeah, about
because
the things, the
it's in
brass
writing,
knuckles.
right? So now I'm waiting to see what Nick Aldis does on Friday. And one of the things I will say is this: Nick Aldis has, taken the mantle of general manager of SmackDown, and I'm extremely impressed with how he's been handling the day to day. Because it reminds me of back in the day when Teddy Long was running shit, and
Holla, holla, holla.
so I'm enjoying the Raw general, SmackDown general manager.
Right.
It's interesting. It's getting back to where it was before, where like
He,
you had
I,
those.
I just waiting for. I'm waiting for Nick Aldis to have a match already, because this man is too big to be in a suit on a regular day-to-day basis. It's time.
I don't know. I feel like until it gets to that point where it gets really personal with somebody, like unless it gets personal.
But that's what I'm waiting for. I want it to be like he gets pushed to the edge, because the man, he's still in his prime. He's.
The question is though, who would be that person that would put him over the edge?
I don't know who yet, but at the same time, he's same age as Cody and him. Like he's not an old person. Like the man. He was just the NWA champion not too long ago, like a year ago, and so about 2 years ago, and was holding that belt with prestige and everything. So I'm just waiting for that to happen, like him to just say F it, and start wrestling.
I don't know, because it's just like I don't want, like, I'd like to see that, but
I just want to go one off.
Maybe we'll see, because it's just like it's interesting to see how he interacts with the locker room in general,
right?
And even just so much the other day,
Nick Aldis versus
Waller and
Logan Paul. Ooh, that'd be great.
The what?
Say like Nick Aldis versus Logan Paul. Like Logan Paul pisses like Nick Aldis off to the point where he's like, I can see it. It can happen, and it can be a one-off match easily. He just pisses Nick Aldis off so much that Nick Aldis like, I'm gonna kick your
Grayson Waller.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, Grayson Waller and what's his name is kind of just
because they have very slick mouths, and even just to that day where like they came off rude to Triple H, and like Nick's like, bro, like he's literally opening the door for you to have this opportunity.
I'm just
like that again, and
I hope this is not a thing, but I hope they don't have Carmelo join their little group. Like, I hope it's just a little one-off thing, like just be the young punks, whatever it
is really getting on my nerves in the aspect of like they're milking this whole I'm the new kid on the brand, so I'm gonna act like this pompous tool.
He's MVP. Think about it. He's pretty much doing what MVP was doing when MVP first got there. Really think about it. He was talking about the draft pick and all that. Like, if you really think about it, he was coming like MVP was this football guy coming in as the draft guy. Yes, everybody likes me.
Because keep in mind, his shtick was he was the highest paid first round draft pick in SmackDown history. Carmelo, ever since he left NXT, has had that mindset ever since he ended his feud with you know what I mean?
But I don't know what it is about. Maybe it's the camera work once again in NXT. But I'm just saying, you really get to see how small Carmelo Hayes is. Like outside of NXT. Like he is not that tall. Like
No, he's like
he's
5'8".
a small. He's a small guy. Like in
Yeah.
NXT, I guess because it's so much brighter and everything, and everybody's pretty much on the same level, and they try to hide the angles and stuff.
Yeah.
But watching it, like him in the ring with like a Randy, it's like shit. You look like a child.
Yeah, Carmelo's like 5'8", and he's like 165, I think.
Yeah, and I'm like, this is crazy. Like, okay, I mean, I want Carmelo to be on a certain level, and he's a good wrestler. But at the same time, I can definitely see that charisma that they like about Trick Williams is not there with Carmelo.
No,
You know,
I
feel like Carmelo still be thinking about what he's saying before he say it.
I don't know how you're gonna feel about this. I think you might feel some type of way if I say this, but I feel like he is a very watered down version of
Ooh.
Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I feel like
Brock?
Watered down version of Montez Ford.
Yes, I can see that. You know what? That is
Like he's a very watered down version of Montez Ford.
And you know what?
We've had this conversation before where I have said multiple times, and I will stand by this. And again, Montez, if you ever see this podcast, big fan. Shout out to you and the lovely missus. He is literally the modern day Shawn Michaels. He has it all. He has the in-ring capability. He has the charisma. He has the attitude. He has the walk. I definitely need
he is Carmelo and Trick Williams all in one.
Like, dude is literally the whole package and has.
You know what? You know what?
Overall, they both have huge.
I get what you know what? I do not
they
disagree.
Need to have hold on their waist this year.
I do not disagree with you at all. I agree wholeheartedly. It's just whenever it's like we're just waiting on them to pull that trigger with the tag team to let them go in their own separate ways.
It's like right now I'm waiting. Like this whole stable that Bobby Lashley has, it's like it's floundering. It's floundering, exactly. And it's like right now he's on injury, and that's the thing.
Matter of fact, the group.
I've been a huge Bobby Lashley fan since his days in ECW.
Yeah.
Huge fan. And like, dude has not aged a day in the last 30 years. Like, I don't fucking get it.
Because he has alopecia.
He has what?
Alopecia.
What is it?
He has alopecia. That's why he has age.
I don't know what that is.
He can't grow hair.
Bruh.
Like, he's hairless. Hair on his face. Like, he has no eyebrows. He can't facial hair. All that. It keeps him young. I think that's what it is. So you can never see gray hair.
Mild.
You can always see him with the skin looking like, like $1 million. He's never gonna age because you never can tell. But the only group I acknowledge Bobby Lashley in is the Hurt Business. That's the only group I acknowledge. That's the only group. And that's whatever forever be. God damn it.
I don't know. The Hurt Business literally floundered after.
That's all Vince. Like fucking Vince. They could have gave them a shot, but as soon as we started to get the crowd back in, and they just ended everything. That was all Vince. It was good in the beginning. When we had no crowd, they like, you know what? We ain't got shit else going on. Let's see what these Negroes are going to do. And it went over. And it got over, and what happened when they started making money? They started doing good. They just shot. Nah, we don't want it no more. Vince changed his mind on the whole thing. Like the hell, like we got Samoans in the group. Oh, all right, we're gonna go back over there. We already got the New Day. We don't need another black group and stuff. That was a nice little experiment. That's what that was.
It's like right now the New Day is literally not the same.
The New Day is not even the New Day. You can't call the New Day the New Day.
The fact that Big E isn't in the equation, and it doesn't even seem like he's going to be returning to in-ring action at all.
I know this. Okay, so I understand now wholeheartedly that Big E is not going to come back to wrestle. I watched the pre-show when they were talking about doing the analyst stuff. And Big E's talking. He's healed up and everything, right? But the way he's healed up is not in the way where, he's going to be able to wrestle. You could tell because the way his neck is, how they did everything, he's doing the Batman turn. Every time he was talking, it's this way. He's not moving his neck. He moves a little bit. He could, but everything is all body movement.
His neck is held together by bolts and miracles.
Yeah, it's like it's all like he can. I was so heartbroken watching him move around. Even though I'm happy for him that he's alive, he's well, he's healthy, and yes, he is healed 100% now. Yeah. But he's just never gonna be cleared to wrestle. Even though he's found love and everything outside of the ring and stuff. And, he has a whole different life perspective now, which is fine and dandy. It's great, and I love it. But to see the after effects of the whole thing is heartbreaking because he literally just did the turn.
What was
the whole just the upper body? That's it.
Who was it that injured him again?
Fucking Rich Harlan, whatever. Yeah. He was too green to be on the main roster anyway. They put him in that thing with that group with Sheamus, and he should never been in that group. He should never been on the main roster while he was still in NXT. He was barely in NXT. They just called him up. He wasn't ready yet, and he fucked him up. He tried to do the move.
Yeah, if I remember, it was like a belly to belly suplex that ended up on his neck.
Yeah, he dropped the man on his neck. It was on SmackDown. Yeah, and mind you, this is right after one. I was already pissed off because they just had him lose the belt to. I hate it with the Negro killer, Brock Lesnar. Anytime you get any black man to get the championship belt, here comes Brock Lesnar taking it away. I mean, ain't his fault, but hey, it's just like it just happened to be that way.
Yeah, but I don't think we're going to see Lesnar in the ring ever again.
Give him time; he'll be there. If we could get Hulk Hogan back on stuff after what the freak he did, I mean, hey, anything's possible. But you had this man probably Big E lose the belt, and then right after he loses the belt, you bring him over, you trade him over to SmackDown to be back in a tag team with his old group after you just broke him up. You took the belt away from him just to bring him back over and be in a tag team again with Kofi because Xavier Woods is hurt, and that was not the place for him to be at. And then what happens? He gets hurt. If they didn't do, I feel like if they didn't do the things that they did to transpire to get to that way, because it was all about getting Brock Lesnar to get that belt. That way, they could have that match with Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns could have both belts at the end of the day. To have that storyline.
Yeah, take all thing.
Yeah, so that was the whole thing. But I mean, like I said, it's heartbreaking to see Big E just body turn. That's he's looking at everybody talking that's all he can do. That's he's just moving. He's like, yeah, yep, this is good, and that's all. And I'm like, damn, he's never coming back.
No, they probably have him that way so that his vertebrae can heal.
But he's already healed. He's done already. He's 100%.
You sure?
Yeah, he's 100%. He literally. That's why you say he's 100% healed. He's done, but it's just he's never going to be able to wrestle. That's the thing. It's the way that
I'd have to watch it because I didn't really watch the kickoff.
Yeah, it's the way his whole thing is fused. That's just how his body movement is. That's the after effects. So he's never going to be able to do what he used to do. He probably can lift and everything else, but it's never gonna be the same no more. So it sucks on that level. So we're never gonna get the New Day that we're used to. We're gonna most likely see him probably, hosting and stuff, which is fine, until his contract runs out, unless they redo it for having him do something else. Who knows? But when you get hurt on the job like that,
well, they have to compensate him obviously for the remainder of his.
Yeah, I mean, he's still writing out his contract. He's doing, stuff for the WWE, representing him and stuff. So he's still on that level, but who knows how much they're gonna keep him doing, or whatever on top of that. But outside of this, so
they still have to compensate him. It's like, he got injured literally.
They paid for his surgery. They paid the whole surgery. So I think that's,
that's all well and good. That's still not enough.
Rehab, yeah. But overall, outside of Big E, love Big E. The PLE was fine. I gave it a B. Honestly, it was some cool matches. I would say, yeah, it was some cool matches. I just want to see a little bit more for some reason. I agree.
I felt like there wasn't enough content in the.
But I think they was just trying to make sure you just get the main story was the King of the Rings, Queen of the Ring thing.
Right.
So other feuds and stuff is is on pause until the next thing.
So now, and I definitely agree that it was a B.
Yeah.
So now, the next PLE, I believe, is Clash at the Castle in Scotland.
Okay. This is why they need to have a European Championship.
So now,
Yeah.
Sorry, you gotta love summer in Hartford. One of the things that now they have made official and announced is that Drew McIntyre is cleared for in-ring action.
Of course.
Will be facing Damian Priest in Scotland.
Of course.
How do you think that match is going to unfold?
Drew's going to get it.
So you think he's going to win?
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
One there in Scotland. Hometown. And on top of that, like, Drew's on a tear right now. Drew's killing it. Drew's, unless CM Punk shows up and ruins it. That'd be the only other way.
I was going to say, if he does win, the minute he wins, we're going to hear that music hit. And Drew, guess what? I'm cleared, and now I'm coming for you.
Yeah, so, it can be that, but like I said,
it might be where if that happens, it might be him versus Drew at the Royal Rumble, but then Damian Priest will probably try to get his rematch, so it'll be a triple threat at the Royal Rumble.
Right. I mean, I like. Don't get me wrong. I love Damian Priest. It's just weird timing. I feel like, but at the same time, hey, no matter if he wins or loses the belt at that PLE, he was the champion. He got to hold the belt. So it puts him in a certain bracket now. That's what it does, which is great for him. I don't know. I just want his gear to switch up a little bit, I guess. Yeah, but who knows? Who knows? I really don't have much negative to say about Damian Priest. He's good at what he does. I feel like right now, like the group is kind of holding him back now.
I don't have anything negative to say about Damian Priest either. I just feel like the Judgment Day is long overdue.
It's done. It's done.
Especially considering
everybody's hurt.
Rhea's out of the picture. Dom is barely in ring because he's injured.
Yeah.
JD McDonough is basically like the punch relief of the group, and he's not doing anything. He's not getting a major push or anything. So what's the point of having him?
I feel like the last breath of fresh air was all the stuff that R-Truth was doing for a while.
Right. Finn isn't he on injury also?
Yeah, he's on injury now.
Finn is on injury, and I feel like they've been putting in Easter eggs that the Demon King is returning, so I don't think he's going to be involved in the Judgment Day much longer. And now with Damian being the world champion, he's the only champion in the group. It's just like it's getting to that point where like I feel like everybody needs to part their ways.
That's gonna happen.
Let those stories
gonna happen eventually.
Especially the Dom story, because if what we think is going to end up happening, where Rhea comes back from injury, I feel like it's going to be a very shades of his uncle and China in the modern day repetition.
Right.
Where now it's like, Mommy, I didn't mean to betray you. Like literally trying to win her over and then literally living her back and forth, and Dom kind of caught in the middle between them and the championship as well. So it's just like a lot of things vary on the Judgment Day finally disbanding.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
And then meanwhile, it's like on SmackDown, from the way things are looking, I guess there's another Bloodline Civil War on the horizon.
We shall see. I mean, that's another story for another time. Cause that's gonna be what a story when that comes out. But so far we've got a lot to look forward to in coming weeks. Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. About all this stuff. But yeah, man, this is fun. Gonna do this the next time, but right now, this is our recap for King and Queen of the Ring from the WWE. I'm Dom. This is Chico. This is the BearatNight podcast.
Thank you for having me, bro. Always.
Like, subscribe below, leave a comment, think, give us your intel on what's going on in the WWE. Yeah, man, that's it. I'm done. We're out. This is it.
Here, I mean, if you're interested in following me, check me out on Instagram at ChicoSSX1.
Yep.
A lot of my photography work, a lot of my stuff on there. Or even just if you want to chat about wrestling or anything in general, just hit me up on there.
You're the man, and y'all know where to find me. So, all that good stuff down below. So this is the BearatNight podcast. Talk to you guys later. Peace. Oh, before we go, yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. All right, y'all. Talk to y'all later. Peace.
Later. Peace.
You are now listening to BearatNight Podcast with your host, Jurassic Parker.